Ready? Board of Commissioners Public Meeting, Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. The time is now 7:05. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, notice of this meeting was published in the November 28, 2019 issues of the Nutley Sun, the Herald News, and Star Ledger. In an effort to prevent further spread of COVID-19 pandemic, the public meetings for the remainder of the year 2020 have been changed to Zoom webinar or teleconference meetings until further notice. The public will be able to listen to the Board of Commissioners meeting and participate during the designated public comment portion of the meeting by utilizing access through a URL link or a dial-in number provided on the Township website. Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Petracco will be here shortly.
He's on his way. He'll be here shortly.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Here.
And Mayor Tucci is absent, excused. All present, Deputy Mayor, except for Mayor Tucci, and Commissioner Petracco is on his way.
Thank you. We don't have any minutes tonight or communications or proclamations. We do have a report for public safety for the month of September, which I'm adding into the record on Commissioner Petracco's behalf. Bills, Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Bill list for October 20th by department totals. Public Affairs, $110,934.13. Revenue and Finance, $3,648,825.12. Public Safety, $57,163. Public Works, $238,938.10. Parks and Public Property, $22,861.75. Water Utility, $28,489.42. Regular payroll total, $883,767.71. Overtime payroll, $27,332.11. COVID-19 overtime payroll total, $5,152.57. Total payroll, $916,252.39, for a grand total of $5,023,401.54.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
And that's it for bills.
We have public comment on agenda items only. Eleni, do we have to read a notice for that?
Yes. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should state their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the board, each person should limit their address to 3 minutes. All remarks are made to the board, and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the board. Do you have anyone? There's no one who would like to speak.
Thank you. Let's move on. Commissioner comments. Any announcements, gentlemen?
I took Deputy Mayor. This Saturday from 10 to 2, which is October 24th, we will be having our shredding day. That was canceled in April, but we're having it on this Saturday. We're going to make it contactless. So it's a stop, drop, and go. We're asking everybody to have everything in their trunk or the back of their truck, pull up, and we will take the documents out, and it'll be you go, and we'll make sure they get shredded. So it's 10 to 2. Enter from parking lot 7, which is next to Bella Luce, into parking lot 9, and you will queue up in that parking lot, and hopefully we have a successful day. And it's 10 to 2 or until the truck is full. And I anticipate that it'll probably fill up fast. So.
And again, that's this coming Saturday?
This coming Saturday.
Great.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kelly?
Nothing for me tonight. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Nothing.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Petracco, I read your report into the record. I think we're ready for ordinance introductions. Would you like to proceed?
Okay.
I have an ordinance introduction tonight, an ordinance to amend an ordinance in the Code of Township of Nutley, Chapter 228, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, particularly Article 7, Special Zones and Areas, Section 29, entitled Handicap Parking, to add to the locations set forth thereon. Move to open the public hearing?
This is.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is an introduction, okay.
Just need a motion.
I move that this ordinance be passed to its second reading and advised in Nutley Sun together with the notice required by law and the further consideration of said ordinance for final passage by the Board of Commissioners be held at the second reading on, I believe, I seen November 17th.
Yes.
I move it.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Commissioner, do you want to proceed with your public hearing? You have 3454.
Sure. An ordinance number 3454. This is the public hearing. An ordinance to amend an ordinance codified in the Code of Township of Nutley, Chapter 228, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, particularly Article 7, Special Zones and Areas, Section 29A, entitled Handicap Parking, to add the locations set forth thereon. I move to open the public hearing.
Would anyone like to comment on ordinance number 3454?
Nobody.
Seeing no one?
Move to close.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
I move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci has a public hearing on an ordinance tonight, number 3453, which we will handle on his behalf. And this is an ordinance providing for $150,000 recognizing grant funds that we received for improvements to Glossback Park, including a band shell. Would anyone like to comment on this ordinance?
There's no one there.
Seeing no one, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Resolutions, Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have two resolutions tonight. The first one took some considerable thought by me, and I was able to move some things around in my budget to be able to manage this, and with the help of, and advice of some of the other commissioners or the other commissioners, we're able to pass a resolution waiving the retail food license fees for our restaurants for the 2021 calendar year. Whereas due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, the restaurant hospitality industry has been among the hardest hit of the industries worldwide. Whereas due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, restaurant and food establishments have seen record closures and layoffs since March 2020. Whereas many of our own local food establishments are struggling to keep their doors open. And whereas the Nutley Board of Commissioners is dedicated to assisting the retail food industry, an industry that has long been part of the rich culture and identity of our town. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that all retail food establishment fees for 2021 will be waived due to hardships experienced by the food and hospitality industry since March of 2020 as a result of the COVID-19 health pandemic. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
This second resolution I have is pretty straightforward. Whereas pursuant to NJSA 4067-23-1 at sequence, Arbor Hills is recognized as a qualified private community. Whereas the Township of Nutley is responsible to reimburse a qualified community for certain services, including solid waste disposal, or provide said services to the qualified private community in the same fashion as the municipality provides these services on public roads and streets. Whereas the Township has elected to reimburse Arbor Hills for solid waste disposal services for the 2021 year. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex as follows. The mayor and the township clerk are hereby authorized to enter into a municipal services agreement for solid waste collection and disposal with 432 owners, 1 River Road, Nutley, known as Arbor Hills, in the form of in a form of approved by the township attorney. Funds in the amount of $18,144 are available from account 1-01-138-275. Copy of this resolution, as well as the municipal services agreement, shall be placed on a file with the township clerk, and a notice of this action shall be printed once in the Nutley Sun. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
I vote aye on that, and I was just looking at that first resolution that Commissioner Kelly read. I need to change my vote to abstain on that, being I have a store in town, but I do want to thank Commissioner Kelly from not only myself, but all of the, retail stores in town. I think that's a great thing to do at this point, because I know a lot of them that could use relief. So thank you.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli, you don't have any resolutions tonight, but would you read two for Mayor Tucci, please?
Yes. Whereas the Township of Nutley Department of Parks and Public Property has determined the need to dispose of certain municipal vehicles and equipment that are no longer useful or have come to an end for their practical term of service. Whereas the Township of Nutley Department of Parks and Public Property has identified the following as not practical to continue in service with the Township: 1992 GMC 3500 mileage, 64,729 utility pickup truck. Whereas the Nutley Department of Parks and Public Property has made a determination to scrap said equipment at Bibbs Auto Recycling, 54 Stover Avenue, Kearney, New Jersey, in the amount of $300. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, will scrap said equipment at Bibbs Auto Recycling in the amount of $300. And move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye. Whereas the Township of Nutley needs to acquire specialized professional services, a fair and open contract pursuant to provisions NJSA 19:44A dash 20.5, and whereas the request for qualifications for Township Forester were received and opened on Wednesday, October 14, 2020, whereas the most responsible and responsive request for qualifications was from the Shade Tree Department, LLC, John Linson, P.O. Box 6089, West Orange, New Jersey, and whereas the Shade Tree Department, John Linson, NJ, Certified Tree Expert, number 198, has provided these services in the past to the Township of Nutley and particularly suited to provide continued service, whereas the term of the contract is for 1 year commencing on October 21st, 2020, continuing through October 20th, 2021. Whereas the contract is not to exceed $22,000 and funds are available for account over 0001512-200 in the amount of $5,505 and 101-512-200 in the amount of $16,495, and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer. Said certification be attached to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that a contract be awarded to the Shade Tree Department, LLC, John Linson, as described herein. The response to the request for qualification shall be placed on file with this resolution, and a notice of this action shall be printed once in the Nutley Sun in accordance with the local public contracts law. Move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye. That's all I have, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Petracco, I see you don't have any other resolutions.
I do not.
You're cool. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, I'm could read mine, plus I'll read one for Mayor Tucci. Whereas certain grant fund appropriation balances were lapsed to the current fund surplus, as there were no further grant charges foreseen at the time, whereas it has been determined that those funds balances need to be reestablished. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, that the following appropriated grant fund reserve balances are hereby reestablished. State of New Jersey Drunk Driving Enforcement Fund Grant, $7,780.25. Body Armor Replacement Fund, $95.80. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
My next resolution is read on behalf of the Board of Commissioners. This resolution has already been read into the record earlier this year when, as part of the Business Reopening Committee, we granted temporary relief from various provisions of our zoning code, as well as certain fees. In light of the environment that we remain in, and the fact that the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission has granted an extension of liquor licensing through March, this resolution extends what was originally a deadline of November 30th, will now allow all of our restaurants that have been utilizing sidewalks as well as parking and other areas to continue to do that through March of 2021. So, and the fee that's normally associated with applications is waived. That $100 fee is currently waived. We continue to have good compliance by the town in terms of owner-operators of businesses, but it's important that we encourage everyone to recognize that COVID is still with us and that the risks are still with us as well. So continue to practice wearing masks, good social distancing, and good behavior when you're out in the public arena. So with that, I move resolution number 23620. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Last resolution I'll read on behalf of Mayor Tucci, which is on behalf of the Board of Commissioners. This resolution, number 23820, is a resolution authorizing the execution of an amendment to the redevelopment agreement between the Township of Nutley and Kingsland Street Urban Renewal. Many would know this as the medical school. The resolution itself and the amendment is actually allowing Urban Street Renewal to become the redeveloper for the purpose of building an elevated skywalk that will connect their parking garage in Clifton to the existing elevated skywalk in Nutley. So now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley as follows. Section 1, the second amendment to the redevelopment agreement by and between the Township as a redevelopment entity in Kingsland Street Urban Renewal concerning the walkway substantially in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A is hereby authorized and approved, subject to any and all conditions contained therein, and such revisions are deemed advisable by the Council of the Township. Section 2, the Mayor and the Township is hereby authorized to execute a second amendment to the redevelopment agreement, and the Township Clerk is hereby authorized to attest said signature and to affix the seal of the Township unto the same substantially in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A with such changes as deemed satisfactory, desirable, or necessary by Township Council. Section 3, upon effective date of the second amendment for the redevelopment agreement, the Township representatives in consultation with the Township's consultants, internal staff, are each hereby authorized and directed to perform the obligations and exercise the rights of the Township thereunder in a manner consistent therewith and with the redevelopment law. Section 4, the Township Clerk is hereby directed to publish and post the notice of this resolution as required by applicable law in Section 5. This resolution shall take effect at the time and in a manner provided by applicable law. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
That concludes formal business before the Board of Commissioners this evening. We will need to have a short executive, which we will have after a public comment period. So, Madam Clerk, could you read the notice?
Sure. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concern should approach the microphone, should state their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the board, each person should limit their address to 5 minutes. All remarks and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizen comments to the appropriate member of the board.
Rory Moore, 462 Chestnut Street. Mr. Evans, last meeting, Mr. Tucci read into the resolution for, I believe it was Diamond Springs and the Colicchio building. Area, municipality in condemnation, area in need of redevelopment. Could you explain that very briefly, please?
Sure,
What is it, is there an intent on the town to do something with those properties?
The intent of the town is to evaluate areas where there's a potential to redevelop into a new future use. Particularly, it started with the Ciccolini property itself, recognizing that it has been a furniture store, and what would the future use be? It's been a while in coming, but we're now proceeding with what's the possible range of options for what that property can be converted into. If I declare it in need of redevelopment, it allows us to adjust the zoning in that area, as well as to actually issue an RFP that could actually take the future of selling that property to a future third party who would be the redeveloper at that point. In addition, with that, in that area, certain of the properties were looked at as to see what their condition was and are they eligible. But certain of the properties were evaluated and are not as part of redevelopment. They're part of rehabilitation, which is another section of the code. And that simply helps those property owners that if they were to improve their buildings, that they would have some tax relief for a period of time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else?
There's no one else.
Seeing no one, I move to close the public comment period.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Commissioner, that's it. I was gonna say Commissioner Tucci.
We need a motion to go into executive
Move it.
session for,
Contract negotiations.
Second.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances exist. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex and State of New Jersey desires to proceed to close executive session. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, to move into closed executive session to discuss personnel and potential litigation. Be it further resolved that the time when such discussion may be disclosed to the public shall be when and such disclosure may be made without adversely affecting the Township of Nutley, pending and/or anticipated legal, personnel, contractual matters, and other matters within the exceptions provided for by statute. Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
The time is 7:28. Yeah. Are you back on? Okay.
For the record, there won't be any action taken by the board once this executive session is over. We will be adjourning the meeting.